Thank you for agreeing to this interview. I wish it was under better circumstances.
I doubt the situation will improve.
You say that like you have the ability to glimpse into the future.
You can't see what happened?
A guilty man died. It happens a lot in Roman territory.
You're convinced of his guilt.
He was convicted.
That's not the same thing.
How do you know he was innocent? Had you met him?
No,
Had you listened to the court trial?
not much.
Then how do you conclude Rabbi Jesus was innocent?
I was told.
By whom? One of the leaders of Israel? One of the 12? 11?
I was told in a dream.
Maybe this wasn't the right time for an interview.
I'm not crazy.
I'm not implying...
If you won't believe me, then at least have confidence in my position. People don't become the wife of a governor by being delusional.
Okay. What did you dream?
God convinced me while I slept that Jesus was perfect and innocent.
Your husband didn't think so.
Sure he did.
If Pilate thought Jesus was innocent, why didn't he stop the crucifixion? He has the support of the entire Roman army of Judea at his disposal.
You think armies make a man strong? That small gathering of Israelites terrified him. He crumbled before them.
Why?
Off the record,
Yes.
one of the penalties of sin is its power to push a man to commit even more sin. My husband was cruel to people, and he was never wise enough to understand that sin builds your own prison.
So Pilate knew Jesus was innocent, but didn't have the will to act on his conviction?
There was so much at stake.
What did you see in your dream?
The world doesn't understand what just took place.
What did you dream?
I can't. I won't go back there.
Yet your dream was powerful enough that you remembered it. You even sent a note to your husband about it. What did the note say?
That's private.
I have to know.
Ask him.
If I could have an interview with Pilate, I'd be having an interview with Pilate right now. The note you sent him after your dream, what did it say?
Have nothing to do with that righteous man, for I've suffered much because of him today in a dream.
Did you somehow know Jesus was innocent and yet still sent the note to Pilate? That makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense.
The note wasn't an attempt to free Jesus, was it?
No.
Then why send it? If the note was not for Jesus, then for who? The note wasn't for Jesus. The note was for Pilate. You feared for Pilate. You feared judgment upon your husband from God for betraying his son. You fear the fate awaits Pilate that did Judas. Is that what you sensed?
He washed his hands so eloquently in front of the crowd, but he can't get rid of the guilt, and nothing he does brings him comfort.
You think Pilate rejected God, rejected whom you claim is God's son, and you tried to warn him of his coming punishment.
Pilate found no fault in Jesus, but Pilate was not able to find the fault that lay within himself.
But if Jesus really is whom you claim him to be, if the man from Galilee really was the Messiah, God's son, surely God is powerful enough to save his own child from mere men.
It depends on whether you believe he is truth.
Truth? What's truth?
My husband asked Jesus the same question. Think of that. The answer stared him right in the face, yet still he could not see it. Can you?
I'm sorry?
The truth of who Jesus is.
Was. He's dead, lying in a tomb.
Can you see truth?
When did you first realize it was over? The arrest in the garden? The trial?
I was so sure. We all were.
Nobody likes to admit they lost. I'm just trying to figure out exactly when you realized you were following the wrong person.
He fulfilled promises right in front of my eyes.
And apparently you were mistaken.
He was going to redeem Israel.
Peter, you can't go on like this. You're in denial.
You got that right.
Deep down inside, you must have known Jesus was not the Messiah. How else do you go from being willing to die for him one minute to disavowing that you ever knew him the next?
I failed him. I just need another chance.
He's dead, Peter. He's not coming back. No one ever does.
I walked on water with him.
Verified by who? You? The others?
You bet they would vouch for what they saw.
It was late. You were all tired. Isn't it possible you imagined the whole event?
You've been reporting on us for 3 years. Were the bread and the fish that you ate with thousands of others all a figment of imagination?
I've never been able to explain those events. There's something completely unscientific about them.
Understanding science is what makes these miracles so miraculous.
Well, science sure caught up with Jesus. Instead of wasting all those miracles on the poor, he should have kept one for himself.
Mary, what is it?
They've taken his body from the tomb. We don't know where they laid him.
They stole his body?
No, he's risen.
What?
He's risen indeed.
Who?
Jesus.
Him!
Let's go with John.
He was crucified. Why can't you guys get over this? Hey, you were the woman who was here earlier. Did you find the body?
Yeah, I did.
And? Where did it get moved to?
Nowhere. And yet at the same time, everywhere.
That doesn't make any sense.
Jesus is alive. I saw him.
I don't know what you're trying to pull here, but this is starting to sound ridiculous.
Go and see for yourself.
You've been drinking that new tea from the market. All of you have been.
You don't believe me.
There's something familiar about you. Are you Mary Magdalene?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Someone told me you were following him. Is it true? 7?
I know who I was then, and I know who I am now.
I can't believe it's you. Can you take me through the day?
Yeah, I came to the tomb while it was dark. I saw the stone had been rolled away.
By whom?
I don't know. I came to the empty tomb.
What did you see?
I didn't go in. Peter and John went in. I stood outside. I was crying. When I finally looked in, I saw 2 angels.
And what did they look like?
They were dressed in white. They asked me why I was crying. I asked them where Jesus was. And before they could answer, I turned around and there I saw a gardener.
Did the gardener take Jesus' body?
No, the gardener was Jesus.
That can't be.
It was him.
What proof do you have?
It was the way he said my name.
That's not verifiable.
It was to me. Have you ever heard him call your name?
No, not that I can recall.
Maybe you should consider listening for his voice. I wasn't the same after I heard it.
Well, hi, Mary.
Hey, I'll see you again.
Thank you for your time. Just come clean. Did you guys steal the body?
I think you know me better than that.
You saw an empty tomb. That means someone took the body. And because Jesus claimed he would rise from the dead, the 11 of you dreamt up this incredulous plan to propagate the myth of his resurrection.
I saw the linen cloths.
The strips of cloth used to wrap Jesus' body?
And I saw the face cloth.
Big deal.
They were on Jesus' head.
So?
And they were folded.
Folded?
Do you think if we wanted to steal a body, that we would actually take the time to unwrap the body and leave a folded face cloth there?
Can someone corroborate your story?
The women were with us. Even Mary Magdalene was there.
Now, you seem to have a hard time keeping your story straight. A few days ago, you claimed you would die for him. Shortly thereafter, you deny you ever knew him, and you were so insistent on this point that you made it 3 times. Yet now you are claiming not only that Jesus is the Messiah, but that he rose from the dead. No offense, but your flip-flopping is confusing.
Don't take my word for it.
Then whose?
The 10 of us just saw him.
That's not possible.
There's 2 more on the road to Emmaus that saw him there. You can check with Cleopas. How many more eyewitnesses do you need to believe?
What was it like for you to see Jesus? Did he make you feel bad for what you had done?
He casts out demons. He heals the sick, and he forgives sin, and he conquers death. Does that sound like a man who you ask for forgiveness would just throw your faults right back in your face?
No. No, it does not.
You have our eyewitness accounts. Are you prepared to believe?
All right. I need you to set the record straight. Can you give me a quote that confirms all this resurrection business is a hoax?
A hoax? Why would you think that?
Oh, come on. Not you too.
Well, why do you doubt them?
Thomas, we're getting so many conflicting reports. I've got one person who claims Jesus rose from the dead told me there were 2 angels at the tomb. And I've got another report that tells me there was only 1 angel at the tomb. Can you really trust sources that contradict themselves?
But did the other source say specifically that there was only 1 angel? Or just that there was 1 angel who spoke? And then you made the inference that there was only 1.
There's the issue of the time of day. One account has the woman approaching the tomb with the rising of the sun, whereas Mary Magdalene insists she came at the tomb when it was dark. How can 2 people be wrong about something as obvious as that?
So the women were traveling from a long way away, from Jerusalem or Bethany. Mary Magdalene's account talks about when she left, which it was still dark. The other woman's account talks about when they arrived at the tomb, at sunrise. This all works.
That's not very reassuring.
Well, you tend to find what you're looking for.
Thomas, you can't possibly trust these sources.
Like, why can't I?
I've been covering the Man of Miracles and the 12 ever since the wedding at Cana.
So you do believe in miracles?
Alleged miracles. We have verified reports that Jesus did not rise from the grave.
Verified reports. Who gave you those reports?
The soldiers at the tomb, under oath. They claim that you stole the body.
Who came? I came? Or Peter? Who did they say stole the body?
They didn't say. It doesn't matter. They had dozed off and...
They dozed off and saw us stole the body while they were sleeping. How exactly does someone do that?
Look, I don't know. And that's not the point. Look, the crux of the issue here is that the leaders of Israel have issued a statement.
And you've interviewed them?
Personally.
So have they told you about all the bribes that they're paying to these officials to push the false narrative?
Every other news organization is corroborating their story.
That's not how you arrive at the truth. You just agree with general consensus?
Yeah, but this many people can't be wrong.
But what if they are?
So you're not going to believe the official story.
I can't. I won't.
Thomas, don't do this.
I can't deny him.
These are powerful people. If they can kill Jesus, they can kill you.
And they probably will. But I know what I've touched.
Wait,
I've touched him.
that's impossible.
That's what I thought. I missed him in the upper room when the 10 were there. And when I came back and talked to them, I thought for sure they were lying about the resurrection. But then later on, we were all there in a locked room. And all of a sudden, he was there beside us. You tell me how someone gets into a locked room.
People don't just walk through walls. It's completely unscientific and totally illogical.
I know, but I know what I saw.
You're delusional.
Am I the one who thinks soldiers can see things while they're sleeping?
This interview is over.
Am I the one who's forgetting about huge bribes being paid just so I can fit in with everyone else?
Something's happened to you, Thomas. You're not the same person I've known these last 3 years. The other 11 were with him too, but honestly, you always seem the most doubtful. And yet, you have this humble confidence about you.
A resurrected Messiah? That can change a person.
Look, I can't print this. If I do, I'll be signing your death warrant.
You got to make your own decision. Like, look around. You're smart. Sleeping soldiers, bribed by officials, and everyone believes that?
I don't know.
Well, what do you need to believe?
What?
What do you need to believe in Jesus? I needed to see him. I needed to touch him. That's what I needed. But what do you need?